In an old candlelit shop, a girl stared into a cracked mirror. Her reflection smiled. But she didn't. The shopkeeper whispered, "It only copies the souls that wish they were free." So I received a call today, a call that wasn't meant to be answered. It started with a wrong number, or so he thought. Aarav was alone that night. The rain was drumming against the window pane, a melancholic rhythm to the solitude of his evening. He was just about to pour himself another cup of tea when his phone buzzed. A shrill ring that cut through the silence of his apartment. He answered casually, expecting to hear the voice of a telemarketer or perhaps an old friend. But what he heard froze him. It was a woman's voice. She was trembling, whispering, "Please, don't hang up. I don't know where I am." Her words tumbled out in a rush, each syllable laced with terror. At first, he thought it was a prank, a cruel joke played by someone he knew. But the fear in her voice, the raw, unadulterated terror of it, felt too real to be a jest. She spoke of brick walls and a broken window. She could hear the distant sound of a train and the smell of paint and rust thick in the air. A raven's call echoed in the background. All of it painted a vivid picture in Aarav's mind, a scene from a bygone era, the abandoned warehouse near his college, soaked in the hues of twilight. She said she'd escaped from someone, found a phone and dialed the only number it would let her, his number. Without a moment's hesitation, Aarav called the police. He pulled on his coat, his heart pounding against his ribs like a trapped bird. He drove into the rain, his headlights cutting through the darkness, her voice on the line, a beacon in the storm. As they spoke, her voice softened, the terror receding, replaced by a sadness that tugged at his heartstrings. "You sound kind," she said, "like someone I once loved." He didn't reply, unable to tear his gaze away from the road. He knew where this call was leading him, to a past he thought he'd buried, to a love he thought he'd lost forever. When she asked him his name, the silence that followed was heavier than any thunder outside. Finally, he whispered Sonia Aarav. He nearly crashed the car. The warehouse loomed before him, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised sky. The call dropped. His phone was dead. He stumbled out of the car, the rain washing over him, the scent of wet earth filling his lungs. He stood before the rusted door, its paint peeling like scabs. In the dim light filtering through a broken window, he saw it, hanging on the doorknob, her scarf, the same one she wore the day she died. 5 years ago, he had held that same scarf in his hands, his fingers tracing the intricate pattern, the vibrant colors, a stark contrast to the grayness of his world. He looked up, the darkness of the warehouse mirroring the emptiness in his chest. He couldn't answer the call because it wasn't meant to be answered. It was meant to remind him of what he'd lost, of a love he'd buried under the weight of grief. Sometimes, the people we lose find ways to speak. And some calls aren't meant to be answered. They're meant to echo the silences between us, to remind us of the whispers of our past.